Hello friends, you're with the Lonesome Gamer, and today I'm gonna play Funkenschlag or Power Grid. That's the English name for that game. And well, maybe you know it's not a solitaire game. It's a game for 2 to 4 players. And because it comes with this bidding mechanics, with this auction mechanic, it's not so easy to play more players solitaire. But because it is also one of the most successful games, I think it's in the top 10 of Board Game Geek, there are some solo variants, or at least one. I'm not sure if there are more, but there is at least one, and I find that quite enjoyable. So yeah, I'm gonna show you that solo variant now. The problem with that is I only have that in German, and I'm not sure if you can find an English variant on the Geek. It's possible, I don't know, I didn't check that. But I'm gonna explain you exactly how it works, so if you're interested in it, you might be able to play it even if you don't speak German. Okay. So, yeah, let's set up the game. Okay, so the game is set, and what you see is a map of Germany. Down here, it's the market for the resources. Here we have the available power plants, and we will play with a dummy player. I got the red pieces, the dummy player takes the yellow pieces. Up here we have more power plants, we can place that over here. And here we got some money. Okay, and a few player aids here. And these are the rules, and I haven't played that for a while, so I'll have to look some things up. It's not that simple. So basically the game is about gaining money. And that's also the goal of the game. You want as much money as possible. And you get money by making your power grid grow. So you will buy better power plants that can provide more cities with energy, and then you try to add the different cities to your power grid, and well, then you get the money. If you can give energy to all these cities, then you get in every turn you get money for the cities, and then you can invest that money again in better power plants and in adding more cities and so on. Okay, and there are actually there are 2 ways to end the game. One is that there are not enough power grids, power plants left to fill that market here. If this should be the case, the game ends. And the other one is that the AI player has built his 15th city. So here we count the cities that we have added to our power grid, and if he's done the 15th, then the game ends too. Okay, and let's see, to win this we need at least 250 bucks. And yeah, you can see here, even better would be 275, and the very great success would be 300 and more. But it's tough, it's not easy to do that. So, and because you have to pay a penalty, and I will explain that right now. If you didn't manage to have 21 cities in your power grid at the end of the game, you have to pay a penalty for each city, and that penalty is 40. For each city you didn't connect to your power grid. And let me see. You will gain $10 for each space that the AI is away from the 15th city. So if the game ends earlier, you can gain additional money here. And in addition, you should try to have at least one city in every region. So you can see the different colors here. And you need at least one city in every region. If you don't have a city in one region, you have to pay $50 for each region where you don't have a city. So that's a big loss. Okay, so these are the modifiers at the end of the game, and then you will calculate all the money, you will add all your money. Yeah, and then you can see if you won that or not. Okay, so the rules, they change a little bit during the different turns. So let's start with the first turn now. In the first turn, the AI is the starting player. You can see that here. This is where you can mark the turn order. And what it does is, it will take a random power plant. And this is the market of the power plants. And the upper 4 plants are the present plants. So these are the power plants that you can actually buy. These lower ones are the future power plants. So if one of these here goes away, it will very likely happen that one of the others, that one here, goes to the top, so it will be available in the next turn. Okay, well, let's start. We roll a die and see which power plant the yellow player will buy. Okay, so this is the last one here. That is, well, a garbage power plant. Is it garbage? Is it junk? I'm not sure. Let me check that. Okay, so this is a waste incinerating plant. And this here shows which resource you need to use that plant. And yeah, that's the waste. And you can see that here. It's these yellow cylinders. And this is the efficiency of the power plant. So you need one resource to support one city. and that's the price you have to pay, $6, but the AI never pays any money. So this is the first power plant the AI takes. Okay, and now that this power plant is sold, we will draw a new one right away. And now we have to bring this whole market in order. So the power plants are always placed in a way that the price goes up. So here it's 3, 4, 5. So now this power plant here is placed here in the present market, and this is now available to buy. So and these are now all placed like that, and because this is the most expensive one here, it's placed here at the end of the future market. Okay, and now I'm allowed to buy a power plant. And there is now a special rule for the solo variant. You have to pay $5 more for this last power plant in the present market. All the others cost the price that is printed on them, but this one costs 5 more. Okay, so now I have to think this through. You can see down here, this is the market for the resources. And this here, the brown ones is coal, the black ones is oil or gas, this is waste, and this is uranium. And here these golden circles indicate how much you have to pay for each single resource. So for now, coal is the cheapest. It only costs $1. Oil would cost 3, waste 7, and uranium 14. So now it's the question, what kind of power plant do we want to buy? Here we would need oil, and we would need 2 oil to support 1 city. Here we need 2 coal to support 1 city. So for now, it's definitely the better one because coal is cheaper than oil. So this is an interesting one because this it's a kind of a hybrid power plant. We can choose here if we want to use oil or coal. We can kind of mix that, and yeah, 2 of each, or 2 would support 1 city, not 2 of each. And here we would have to pay 3 oil to support 2 cities. So that is not that great. This would be more interesting here. I guess I'm gonna buy this one here. I'm gonna pay $5 because that gives me that flexibility. I'm only allowed to buy 1 power plant per turn. Okay, so let's pay these $5. Okay, let's draw a new card here. Okay, so that's 38. So we're gonna adjust the market here. And we're gonna place this one here. Okay, and now we come to the next phase. First phase was buying these power plants. The next phase is buying resources. The point is that the order during the phases changes. So the first player is the first one allowed to buy these power plants. But then the last player, in this case the second one, so me, is the first one allowed to buy resources. And I can only store a limited amount of resources. And it depends on my power plants. So the power plants can store double the number of resources that is pictured here. So in this case, I can, for example, store 4 coal. And I think this is exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to buy 4 coal. So that would cost me 3 for these and 2 for that one. So I'm going to pay 5 and I'm going to place them here on my power plant. Okay, and then it's the AI player buying resources, and he doesn't have to buy. He can simply take the maximum resources he's allowed to take. So, and because we see here 1 waste symbol, this plant can store 2 waste. So he simply takes these 2 and they are placed here on the plant card. Okay, and then we're allowed to build a city. Or not, it's not exactly building a city, we just connect the cities, but I might say build it. And again, the second one, so that's me, I'm allowed to start during this phase. So I'll be the first one who does that. And because it adds a little randomness, at the beginning of the first city I like to determine randomly. So that's what I'm going to do now. Okay, that's a nice coincidence, no joke, we start in Essen. Okay, and we're going to place one of our pieces, these little buildings, here in that city. And you can see here 3 little spaces, a 10, a 15 and a 20. So now during the first phase of the game, we have to pay $10 to connect a city to our power grid. Later it will be more. So we place this here and we're gonna pay 10. And in the multiplayer game, now other players could also connect that city to the grid, to their grid, and they have to pay the higher amount then. In the solitaire game that's not possible. Only one player, either me or the AI player, can connect a city. Okay, I have $30 left now. So I would have the money to connect more cities to my grid, but I can only support one city. So it doesn't make that much sense to do this. I could, maybe it wouldn't be an option, but I don't think I will. And there is one important rule here. You're not allowed to connect more than 2 cities above the limit of the cities that you can support. So, or above the number of the cities you can support. So let's say I can support 5 cities. So I could connect altogether 7 cities, but I'm not allowed to connect a 8th city. This is not allowed. And in this case, when I can only support 1 city with my grid, I could actually add 2 more cities to my grid, and I'm actually thinking about doing this. But so now these cities they must be connected to my grid, and I have to pay this here for the distance, that number, plus the $10 for the city. So if I want to now connect Münster, I had to pay $16 for that. For Düsseldorf, it's only $12, and Duisburg would be only for $10 because it's so close. I don't have to pay an additional money for that. So that might be interesting. I could think about doing that actually, but I'm not sure. I think I won't. Okay, and now it's the AI connecting cities. And what it is doing is it always places its houses on the city that would be the cheapest one for me. So in this case, it goes here to Duisburg. If there would be 2 cities, same price, the cheapest one, it would go to both cities. So that is something that I should keep in mind. If there is an opportunity for him or for the AI to get more cities in one turn, it might be a good idea to not let that happen. There is now a special rule in the solo rules, another one, and that is if the AI cannot support its power grid because of a lack of resources, it would not add new cities to the grid. But that's of course not the case right now. Okay. So let's see now. What we're going to do now is we're going to add new resources to the market. And that's another difference to the multiplayer game. In the multiplayer game, you first support your cities, and you pay the resources and give them back to the pool. And in the solitaire game, that's different. You first try to fill the market, and then you pay for your cities. So that means it's more likely that there are not enough resources in the pool to fill the market. Makes it a little more interesting. Okay, and there is a let me see. Okay, and here we can see how much resources of each kind go to the market every turn. So we got 3 coal, 2 oil, 1 waste, and 1 uranium. And I'm actually looking for coal, and as you can see now, there is no coal left. So the market will not be filled with coal this time. But we have 2 oil. It's not a big deal, so we simply place that here now. So oil is getting cheaper now, while coal is getting more expensive because there is a higher, well, I don't know all these words. More people want coal, that's why it's more expensive. And we got 1 waste here and 1 uranium, which is placed here. Okay, and now we got to activate our power plants. And I'm going to pay 2 coal now to support my city. And now we have here that player aid that shows how much money we get. So if we have 1 city, we gain 22 bucks. Okay, it's 20 and 2 more. And then the AI player will also activate its power plant, and it simply plays 1 waste, and it goes also back to the pool. Okay, and then we're nearly done. Now at the end of the turn, what happens is we'll take the most expensive plant, remove it here, and place it underneath the stack of the power plants. And then we'll fill this again, and that is number 15, so we place that now here. Okay, so that was basically the first turn. Okay, so now it's round number 2. And we start again, and first we check for the order, for the player order, and the best player goes first, and we count the number of cities to determine who's the best player. So, well, this should be here, by the way. So now we both have 1 city. So it's a tie, and then the player with the more valuable or with the more expensive power plant goes first. So in this case, it's the AI player. So what we do again is the AI player will choose another random power plant, roll a die, and that's again number 7, so it's the 4th one, so he takes this one here. That's not great because he will buy all the coal now. That sucks. It's a good plan, but okay. And to make things easier, we place the best plant on the left and then go to the right. Make some it's easier in the following, you will see that later. Okay, then draw another plant. That's 33. So this goes now here. That's an interesting one. We might take that. On the other hand, it's pretty expensive. So I'm not sure. I could buy this one here, but remember it costs 5 additional bucks, so it would cost 14 bucks. But it's, well, quite efficient. For now, we only have to pay 1 oil to support 1 city. So that might be interesting. On the other hand, I'm thinking about buying this one here. It's a little cheaper. We need more oil, that's a fact, but oil isn't that expensive right now because he doesn't have an oil plant right now, at least. So this could be an option. And yeah, I think I'll do this. So I pay 7 bucks, and that gives me also the option to support more cities. I can now support 3 cities, and with that I could only support 2 cities. So I pay 7 for that. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. And now we're allowed to buy resources, and here again the order changes. So now I'm the first one who's allowed to do that, but first we have to refill the market here. So this is 31, so that one goes here, and that one goes now here. Remember, it's always in the order of the value, so the cheapest one is here, the most expensive one is here. Okay, let's buy some resources. I think I'm gonna buy 2 coal. It's pretty cheap right now, but when this guy buys his stuff, it's gonna be pretty expensive, so I'm happy to buy as much coal as possible. I'm gonna pay 4 bucks for the coal here. Again, remember, I cannot store more than double the number of resources this plant needs to be activated. And then, well, I could now buy 6 oil, but this is pretty expensive. Let's see how much money I have left. I got 40 bucks left. And then I want to connect, I guess, at least 2 cities or so. So these would be 12. These would be 14. So that brings me to 26. Yeah, so I think I will only buy 3 oil so that it's just enough to activate this one. That shouldn't be a big deal because he doesn't have any oil plants right now, so he won't buy any. So there is not such a high demand for oil. Okay, so I pay 4 plus 3, so I pay 7 bucks for my oil here. Okay. Might be helpful to have a track for the money, or so. It kind of sucks to always change that. Maybe I'll do this one time. Okay, and let's see. Yeah, and then the AI is buying resources, and it's the same thing now. First, now they buy for the highest value plant. The one that is on the left. So they're buying 6 coal to fill this completely. This is oil. Okay. Yeah, okay. And then they take this one here and they buy another waste here. In this case it doesn't make a difference. They could also have done that the other way around, but let's assume he's got, I don't know, 3 coal plants or 2, and there would not be that much coal left. It actually makes a difference, because then there might not be enough resources left to fill them all. So it makes sense that he starts with the most efficient one, or with the highest valuable plant, and fills that one, and then goes down to the other ones. That's just the way the AI handles buying resources. Okay, and then I'm allowed to connect new cities. Okay, and as I said, I go to Düsseldorf and to Dortmund. So I'm going to pay $12 here, the 2 for the distance and 10 for the city itself, and 14 for Dortmund here. Okay, so that's then 26. And I got a little bit left, so yeah. Okay, but well, I could now, for example, I could add Münster. It's pretty cheap to do that, actually. It would cost me only 2. But I cannot support that. On the other hand, might be useful to do it anyway. As I said, it's pretty cheap. Would cost me only 12. So I guess I'm going to do that. I'm going to connect Münster here. Just costs me 12. I think that's a fair price. Yeah. Okay, and now I got overall 4 cities. Then it's the AI, and they will just place 1. They go here to Köln, because this is the cheapest one. It would cost them 14. Everything else is more important. Here, Osnabrück for 17, or that's also much more expensive. So Köln is by far the cheapest one. Remember, not for them, but they always try to block me. So I just look what would be the cheapest one for me, and then I'll place the AI there. That's how it works. Okay, and yeah, then we come to the bureaucracy. Oh no, then we have to fill the market. So again, it's 3 coal, 2 oil, 1 waste, and 1 uranium. So there's only 2 coal left now. So coal is getting more and more expensive, as you can see. while oil is still pretty cheap. Waste has stable price. Well, and nobody needs uranium right now, so it becomes a little cheaper. But we cannot buy a atomic power plant anyway right now, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, and then we have to activate our plants, and now the activation is the same thing. This guy activates first the most efficient power plant. So this is this one here, and he uses 3 coal to do that. So he can now support both of his cities with these 3 coal, so he actually doesn't need to activate the waste plant. Or the waste, incineration plant. Okay, and I have to activate both of my power plants, so I'm gonna pay 2 coal and these 3 oil. And then I can support 3 cities, which gives me 44 bucks. Okay, so now the dummy player has 2 cities and I got 4 cities. So now the turn order changes. Means I'm first. And of course we got to remove the most valuable power plant and take another one instead. This is this one here. Place that here. Okay, and then I'm allowed, we come to turn 3, and now I'm the first one allowed to buy a power plant because I'm the first now in the turn order. So let's see. And actually, there's another thing now. There is a rule that you have to remove a power plant from the market if the number of cities, the total number of cities that a player has connected to his power grid, exceeds the value of the power plant. So in this case, because I got 4 cities, we're going to remove this oil plant here. And that goes into the discard pile and it is basically removed from the game. And let's see. Yeah, that's 25, so we have a new one here now. Okay. So let's see, I mean, now we got to think what kind of power plant would be interesting. And, well, I'm not sure actually. This is not a bad one. This is a kind of ecological wind plant, power plant. So the cool thing here is you don't need any resources for these. But it's pretty expensive. It would cost me 18 because this is here the 4th one in the upper row, so that's always 5 additional ones. So I don't know if I really want that. And Next problem is coal is pretty expensive already. So if I buy this one here, then I don't know if this is such a great deal. I could buy the oil here. The problem is I can only support one city with that. So I already have 4 cities and I can only support 3 of them right now. So it's a matter of fact I need some more efficient power plants. So something like this, for example, would be good, which can support 3 cities or like that, or these would be perfect. The problem is you cannot have more than 3 power plants. That's a rule. Never more than 3 of these power plants. So if I buy now, let's say that one here, which can support 1 additional, that would allow me to support all of these. That would be cool. The point is that then in the next turn, if I want to expand, I definitely have to discard another one and buy one of these. So I'm not really sure if I want to do that. On the other hand, well, I could buy that. It's not that expensive. And I think, yeah, with 3 cities that I can support right now, I would gain $44. With 4 cities, I would gain $54. So, and I only have to pay $11. So I have to pay $9 to buy this thing. And I have to pay, well, I don't know actually, a few more, maybe 3 additional bucks to support that city. So overall, I have to invest, I think, about $12 to support an additional city. And I gain only 10. But in a way it's an investment in the future because if I buy a good power plant in the next turn, I don't know. I then could throw away this one, for example, which is not very efficient. That's really not an easy decision now. Okay, actually I think I won't buy a power plant this turn, simply because this one is not good enough, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to speculate on the upcoming ones, the ones that are more efficient. So I'll have to discard it in 2 or 3 turns again, and that's not worth it, I guess. Okay, so I'm not buying one, and then he is buying again a random one. So this is this time the 3rd one. This is this one here. That's placed here, and that means coal is now getting more and more expensive, which sucks because if I want to buy this one in the next turn, I might end up with a problem here. Okay, so let's draw a new one. This is 17. This is our first atomic power plant. So this is now here. Okay, and now next thing that happened is we're going to buy resources, and now the order changes again, so the AI now starts, which is a bad thing for me because that makes things more expensive. So they will buy 4 coal for this plant here. Oops, damn it. Okay, and 3 coal for this one here. And nothing for that one because storage capacity, the maximum is 2, so this is already full. And then it's me. Well, if I buy coal here, this is really expensive. I'm not sure if I want to do that. I think I'm going on oil. Okay, so for now, oil is cheap. And he doesn't buy oil. So there is no real need to buy more oil than necessary. So I think I can easily pay only these 2, 6. I can easily pay only these $8 fill that I need to power this plant here. And I think I won't store additional barrels. I think it's not necessary to do that. Okay. So here we go. And then we're gonna connect new cities, and again this guy starts now because he's second, but in this phase it's the other way around. So now the cheapest way would be Osnabrück, I guess, because it costs 17 and all the others are more expensive. Yeah, that's pretty sure. Okay, so he places one here, and that's it then. So now I could think so he is now at 3 cities, okay. And I'm allowed to connect one more city because I can go 2 cities above the number of cities I can support. So now I can support 3 cities, so I could have 5. And I'm thinking about doing this because if I don't do it, then he will place next a city here in Aachen. And then I really have to pay a lot of money to connect my next city. I have to go over the mountains here. I guess these are mountains. To Kassel, for example. But that would cost me 28. That's a lot of money. Or I could go here to Frankfurt for $30. That's all damn expensive. Still, I'm afraid it is necessary. Yeah, because even if I'm in Aachen, I have to pay a lot of money to get to Trier then. That's all pretty expensive here, actually. So, what I'm going to do right now I think I'm not gonna go to Castle because that gives him the cheap opportunity to go to Fulda then. So I also could do nothing. I mean, it doesn't matter. Yeah, I think I won't do anything. Simply save my money. Support 3 of these cities. And then in the next turn I've got some money to really start that. Okay, I think that's a better idea. So right now we fill up the market once again. So we got 3 coal. We are. Okay. Then we got 2 oil. One waste. And 1 uranium. So uranium comes now here. Okay. Then we're going to activate our power plants, and he's got 3. And he starts here again on the left, activating these things. So these are 2. And then he's going to activate that one. It would be fine to activate this one, but he won't do that. He always starts from the left and then goes to the right. The most valuable one, and then this one. And this would be the last one he would activate. Okay, so 2 from here, 3 from here. And yeah, I'm going to activate. I'm going to give away all my resources to support my 3 cities. So that gives me 44 bucks. Okay, so I think I'm done for now. I guess I'm going to load this up. I know this is a little different from the games I usually do. Normally I don't play any Euros or any of these economic games. I think it's the first one I'm doing at all. And so I hope it's not too boring for you. I hope you enjoy it in some way. And I hope that this solitaire variant is not too fiddly. I find it is really enjoyable, quite relaxing. So yeah, I hope to see you in my following videos. Until then, bye.